there, thank you for stopping by to share with Julie today. I hope you're having a fantabulous day today. Now, Carnel asked me about water. He had asked me, like what type of water, what's the best water to drink, and you know, that's a really good question. And when it comes to sources of water, oh my gosh, when we look at what's happening now, but we've got to do the best that we can. The first thing I would say is to ensure that you are consuming high water content foods, and that is mainly fruits and vegetables. They have natural water in these fruits that are really beneficial. These includes like of course, your coconut. You get your coconut water. Nutritious. And really refreshing. And of course, foods like your melon, your oranges, your limes, your berries, grapes. These are all high water content fruits. Your leafy greens also have, water. It's a source of, water. So you do have high water content fruits, and you want to ensure that most of what you eat in a day come from high water content foods. That's the first thing. The second is, Dr. Sabi often talk about the thermal water, and because the thermal water are natural mineral rich water, and that's not easy to get. Usually it's easier to get if you're located in areas where you can access thermal water, but that's also another source of water because it's natural mineral water. Spring water, that's the third source, I would say, and I'm talking about natural spring water. There are many springs, sorry. In different countries you'll find they have different springs or different water bodies that we can drink. And the problem, is a lot of things that we are doing, a lot of the things that we are doing that is polluting this earth, that is polluting the water sources. And I think that is something that we need to address, but that's for another, probably I'll talk about that another time. But those are three sources to look at. If you of course have to use your pipe water, water from the pipe, it's not recommended that you just drink the water straight from your pipe, but that is, if that's the option you have, then get a filter. The carbon filter is usually the better filters, a carbon filter. And so that's another option. Of course, you could buy spring water, because most of us are not living near spring or any source of thermal water, so probably have to buy water. So if you're buying water, look at the source. Always check the source of your water, and check the pH of the water at source. Some manufacturers do have it and some don't have it, but you want water that are directly coming from springs, from natural springs. And sometimes you have to investigate, because sometimes we are told one thing, and the reality is that it's another. But be careful of water that they alkalinize. People talk about alkalized water, but if it is artificially, alkaline, you don't want it. And a lot of, water that's, some people are selling, it's artificially, alkaline, and you don't want this kind of water. You want natural water, water that is naturally alkaline, not water that they put through a process such as ionization. No, it's not the same thing. You want it coming from nature alkaline. If it's not coming from nature alkaline, think twice. Before you buy that, just get a filter. Before you buy those type of water, just get a filter for your pipe and use that instead, and use your pipe water instead. And if you want, you could probably just squeeze some lime juice in it, and but it is a challenge. I think in talking about water, we have to address what is happening in this world. We can't. It is important that we no longer, look the other side and pretend like we don't really see, because things are affecting us. I mean, the fact that they are using natural water source sometimes as dumping ground, it's ridiculous. Or dumping waste near, natural water sources. That leads to, water or natural sources becoming contaminated. That is something that we, need to look at. In the Caribbean, we would get drums and we would catch water. We would catch water, the rainwater, and we would use it to wash our dishes and wash our hair and wash clothes and stuff like that. That is still practiced in a lot of the Caribbean islands. Of course, depending on where you're located, if there is a lot of pollution in the atmosphere, then that becomes a problem also. But as I would say, we have to do the best we can. I mean, even the bottled water in plastic, I buy it, but that is something that I want to get away from, because the plastic, that is no good. That is, no good for the earth. We are producing these plastic that they are not biodegradable, and we are beginning to see the manifestation, the negative manifestation of using these kinds of material. And and it's not just affecting us, it's affecting other species that inhabit this planet with us. And so, I would say when it comes to water, and of course I have not delved too much into the different brands, which is something that I will do. There are ways that you could test your water, of course, using a thermometer or, alkaline acid strips. But like I say, do the best you can. If you could get natural spring water, thermal water, also eat high water content foods. This include a lot of high water content fruits and vegetables, of course. That is also important. And if you have to use the pipe water, get a filter, carbon filter, that's better. And like I say, be careful of the alkaline water that they have out there. Remember, Dr. Sebi told us, because many of us, we would not know this otherwise, that even though the pH scale goes up to 14, naturally in nature, alkalinity does not go up that far. It is artificial. And so therefore, you don't want water, you don't want anything, just don't bother with water that is above 9 pH. 9 pH, okay, fine. And you don't even need it to have that high level of alkalinity. So don't stress too much about having these high pH water that unless it is a natural source, if it's not a natural, if it's not coming naturally from nature, then it doesn't make sense. Because if it's artificial, it cannot alkalize the body in the way that you are hoping that it would, because it's artificial. It's not a natural alkalinity. So that is something to take into consideration. Oh, I hope I made some sense there. I hope you found this useful. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. Don't forget, be the change you'd like.